Prodigy Racing Network. It's me, your head commentator, Niklas Koskinen, with the Prodigy for the Prodigy Racing Network. We're here for the penultimate race of the first season of action here in the Budweiser All-Star Series, and we are from Oswego Speedway, the super modified capital of the world. At Oswego, New York, the host of Super Dirt Week every year. One of the biggest. I mean, this is basically the mecca of modified racing in America. But let's take a look at your conditions presented by AccuWeather here on Prodigy Racing Network. Here in Oswego, New York, it is 90 degrees Fahrenheit with a bit of clouds in the area. It is that beautiful upstate New York weather at its finest. Let's take a look at your point situation heading into today's race. Ryan Hill ended up finishing 17th in the last race out, and hopefully going to improve on that here. However, he still retains the points lead by over 107, about 108 points or so. Actually, 92 points is how much he has that standing by, or 192 points, sorry. So he is still in very good position. However, today's race could open the door for either Darren Claw or the winner at the last race, Tracy Bennett, could come in and score a victory. From the Budweiser 220 in Lime Rock Park, Tracy Bennett nabbed his first victory, and he's looking to do it again here tonight. And actually, as we head down to the grid, let's see where he's starting with our starting grid presented by, I don't frickin' know. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button, so there you go. But let's take a look at your starting lineup presented by none other than Budweiser, or sorry, actually Xfinity. Sorry, I forgot that was. See, we haven't done a Budweiser race in so long on this channel. I completely forgot the title sponsor for the starting grid. Let's take a look at your starting grid presented by Xfinity. And the race winner, Tracy Bennett, continues his long streak here as or actually, sorry about that. By long streak, I mean one race win. But Tracy Bennett has had some pretty good finishes overall, including at the EA Origin 200 and the AT&T 5G 200. He ended up finishing 5th and 6th, respectively. He has not finished outside the top 10 since the Father's Day Classic, and even then, he had a streak going since the Spectrum Business 300 at Talladega. He finished 5th, 9th, 4th, 15th, 5th, 6th, and 1st over these past 10 or so races. But he's starting on pole today, so good on him for that Motorola Chevrolet. And if he can get it done at the very beginning of the race on the first green flag, he might be able to hold on. But he's got a challenger in the mix. It is three-time winner and currently your champion, Ryan Hill. He's pretty much locked himself into the championship title. However, he does poorly here at Oswego and in tonight's race at North Wilkesboro. Just got to see how close that championship battle is. Darren Claw, another three-time winner on the grid here in third. He starts next to James Garcia, one of the highest starting positions for that 27. Ryan Apt starting alongside Brian Cox had the fastest time in the practice session earlier this morning. Let's see what he can do with that number 33 Menard Chevrolet. It looks like both Paul Menard cars are finally showing their muscle. And, well, we got two identical paint schemes up here in the front row, here in the middle of the grid. It is Paul Rivera, the winner at Kern County. Has not seen much in the way of success, but he starts next to Drew Foster, who ended up finishing second, I believe, at the last race. I'm going to check his. Yeah, he ended up finishing second at the Father's Day Classic, and it's only been up from there. Aside from a 26th place in Texas, he's got a 3rd place at Nashville and a 4th place at Lime Rock Park. So that 47 car is getting faster. Let's see what he can do here at Oswego. Another part of the Anjuno gang, the number 68 car, Daniel Van Hewley, starting alongside the 72, his teammate, Alex McCumber. After that, we got two Potter Racing Chevrolets, the 77 of Travis Creighton alongside the 57 of Hayden Benning. And in the Bad Dragon Enterprises Ford Fusion, it is Byron Martin. Sorry, he's not had much in the way of success this year either, and neither has his teammate. However, his teammate, despite starting all the way back there, has had more success than that 2-car this year. He is signed on for next season, so we're just going to see what that brings. But for now, he's not doing so well. He starts mid-pack in that number 2 Ford alongside the 67 of Michael Brewer. After that's number 5 of Nicholas Offelman. Had kind of surprised us all a little bit in the midway of the season. Now he's just kind of there. He starts next to the winner at Richmond during the Budweiser Stock Car Festival, Greg Ramirez. Jesus Gonzalez will be joining Moran and Nagayan. Or sorry, no, he won't. Sorry. He'll be joining Nicholas Offelman, actually, in the number 6 car for Big Sky Racing. He'll be jumping ship from Golden Gate Racing. And right now, this is his audition. He's starting at the the 4th highest of the quote-unquote reject cars. And the highest starting reject Toyota. He starts alongside Ohio's Rick Taylor. Sheldon Gatno has had a couple of finishes that he can be proud of. However, his starting has not been so well. He starts next to Carter Brown toward the back of the field. Miranda Nagayan also not doing so hot over this course of the season. She had a very strong start in the first 3 or 4 races of the season. However, she's just fallen off. There's really not much to say about her. She finished 13th in Lime Rock, 15th in Nashville. She had a 4th place finish in Texas, but hasn't done much since then. She'll be starting in 21st place alongside the 15 of Daniel Walker. Jordan McClure, the winner of Colorado, not showing much in the way of success other than that this year. And right now, he's not starting in a great position. He starts 23rd on the grid, next to Bangladesh's Chaturthi Bhattacharya. Dennis Key still looking for a ride. He starts alongside 43-year-old Sam Fitzgerald, who is basically the Ross Chastain of this series. He has rubbed people the wrong way all throughout the grid, and he is not really doing that well in the race. Qualifying's been a different story, as he qualifies here in 26th in his number 10 Toyota. And then finally in 27th place, it's Jake Wild in the Wild Family Racing Ford. It consistently has been the worst finisher of the two Jake Wild Racing family cars. However, his teammate Daniel Walker really has been outperforming his equipment all season. This guy has had some good finishes for his equipment. However, that 3 car has just been desecrating Dale Earnhardt's legacy. But anyway, let's take a look here. Well, I mean, that's not really going to do anything, is it? I guess we're not taking a look at anything, but we're going to get us down to the grid here. Oswego Speedway, normally a track made for super modified cars, is now hosting stock cars, but yeah, really kind of a weird spot for stock cars to be in here. And this is a very famous racetrack. Once again, hosts the Oswego Dirt. Now I think it's Super Dirt Week that they host. But now today it's asphalt, and it's host to the Budweiser All-Star Series. Green flag from upstate New York. And there's Tracy Bennett already off to a good start. Ryan Hill losing position to Darren Claw on the bottom. Here comes the Californian on the bottom trying to get Tracy Bennett. And second place now. They're kind of a little bit more spread out for second place. We got a bit of a jumble toward the mid part of the pack. And here comes the 45 of Ryan Apt. He's won a race this season. He's looking for his second win. Came so close to Talladega and then ended up winning at New Hampshire. Let's see what Ryan Apt can do, but he's got that 19 of Paul Rivera a little bit behind him. Rivera is reporting on the radio. He is very loose entering the corner, so we're just going to have to see. Ryan Hill also reporting the same issue. Those 2 Joe Gibbs cars very loose on corner entry. And that's really what's going to screw them up here in this race. But here comes Ryan Happ being pushed all the way up to the wall by Paul Rivera. Rivera just hugging that bottom side. He's got Travis Creighton down on the bottom in 5th place behind him. And the leader of the first couple laps but Tracy Bennett, but Darren Claw has got the faster car. Let's see what he's able to do here. That Modal Brakes Toyota looking for his 4th win of the season. Let's see what he can do here. First 5 laps of this race have got my blood pressure through the roof. I'm sweating, but right now your championship leader Ryan Hill, contact with Travis Creighton, but he is dropping like a fly. He is losing a ton of positions. He started in 2nd, he's fallen all the way back to 6th. Travis Creighton, or he's trying to hold on to 5th actually, but right now Travis Creighton in 6th place. He's got Byron Martin and Nicholas Uppelman behind him. So we're just going to have to see what Martin's able to do. He's trying to get past Travis Creighton. These cars look a little bit loose here on corner entry, or corner exit most of the time. The Toyota's having a little bit of issues on corner entry. Now Ryan Hill starting to gain a little bit of pace now as those drivers in front of him start to wear down their tires just a little bit. But Ryan Hill, he's looking for an opportunity to overtake Ryan App, the Ryan and Ryan show, back on here in Oswego. So far, race winner from last week, Tracy Bennett, trying his best to hold on to the position. He's got Darren Claw in behind him as well as Paul Rivera. We've seen what Rivera is able to do with these short tracks. And here comes Ryan Hill. He's on the back bumper of the 45. That's your championship leader trying to get past the 45 for 4th. He had a very slow start to the race. And one of the Anjuno cars, I think, just made a move on the 90 of Jesus Gonzalez, the Mexican driver. And the two Menard Chevrolets have fallen back significantly in the pack. Here comes the 33, about ready to get passed by his teammate James Garcia, who most of these races have been the slower car on that team. And a very interesting race indeed here in New York. I mean, you just can't find any... Yeah, I mean, you can't just have a better product here if you tried. This is good racing thus far. And already, 11 laps been cut off of the race here. They're getting through this race pretty quickly, and Ryan Hill is able to get past Ryan Apt in that EA Sports Chevrolet. Ryan Apt has announced he'll be leaving Conway Racing at the end of the season. He'll be going to a different team. And I made his scheme, and for the life of me, I forgot what team he's going to be on and what car he's going to be driving. But just know he will not be in that 45 car. A rookie will be in that 45 car next season. So we're just going to have to see what that entails. I don't like how loose these cars are looking. Somebody's going to end up T-boning the wall. I guarantee it. So far, a very good race here. The 20th Greg Ramirez trying to get past Drew Foster, who has had a string of good races lately. However, consistency is the main issue. That 47 car just not able to be up there consistently. Sheldon Gatno, the Chicagoland winner, into the wall goes Byron Martin. Jesus Gonzalez also gets a piece of the wall, but no damage to either one of those cars. And here comes Ryan Hill, building up the speed, battling side by side with his Joe Gibbs teammate. A little bit of contact off the wall for Ryan Apt. Looks like he'll be okay. Tracy Bennett is both gaining and losing time to that 7 of Darren Claw. Claw's last win came at the Nashville Fairgrounds. This track is very similar to the Nashville Fairgrounds in a lot of ways. So this is a track that Darren Claw can thrive on. That 18 of Ryan Hill, though, he's still got a battle with the 19 here. Oh, a crossover by the 19. He's gonna have the dominant bottom lane. And here comes that 19, still there in the middle. He's on the bottom, still hugging that bottom with the 18 of Ryan Hill on the top side. That's gonna open up way for Ryan Apt to get involved in the battle here shortly. Travis Creighton's starting to lose positions. I wonder if his tires aren't going down. Byron Martin still staying strong. Moran and the guy in behind him. Byron Martin's not had very much success this season trying to get his way into 8th place. This will probably be his second or third top 10 of the season. And keep in mind, this has been a 16 race season or so. I think this might have been. I think it is 16 races, either that or 12. Side by side, a little bit of contact between Taylor and Gonzalez coming in off the front straightaway. Not something you really want to see if you're either of their car owners. And some of the rejects will start to get lapped here as Sam Fitzgerald is on the back straightaway. And no surprise here, he is last. Ryan Apt is right there on the back bumper. Sorry, no, he's not. He's nowhere near Sam Fitzgerald. But if we go on board here, you can see how close he is to Sam Fitzgerald. That could potentially be trouble here if they get involved. Almost halfway through the race, Tracy Bennett has led them all here. We've only been here for 21 minutes, and that's not counting the 10-minute starting screen that we had. So this race is going to be over a lot sooner than I thought. However, one race that's going to take ages to complete. Tonight's race is a 400-mile race. 400 laps. And it'll be a big one at North Wilkesboro Speedway to decide the championship. You will not want to miss it. A honest-to-God endurance race for these drivers. The longest race of the season. It's the Dirty Mo Media 400. That'll be tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, which will be 5 o'clock for me. So I have no problem staying there. But, you know, we'll probably be going until about 9:30-ish Eastern. So it's a race you will not want to miss. I mean, it's a race that I'm excited for. It's the final race of the Budweiser All-Star Series season. Tracy Bennett building a gap over Darren Claw. It looks like that pace on that Motorola Chevrolet has improved considerably over these past few races. Bennett really making himself known here. Brandon Agayan trying to get past fellow Toyota driver Sheldon Gatno. She's done pretty well to stay in the top 10. Now she's trying to see if she can't steal away the 8th place spot from the 7-1. She's the lowest rated right now out of the Joe Gibbs drivers in the season standings. Greg Ramirez doing not so hot in this race as he's currently sitting back behind Byron. How did Byron Martin lose so much time? He was battling for 8th earlier. But Greg Ramirez was scored 15th at the line behind Jesus Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the highest of the reject Toyotas. And Gonzalez has been outperforming his equipment all season. This guy has a ton of talent. This guy's like Daniel Suarez. It seems like that he always gets dealt a bad hand with the cars he's given, but he's got a ton of talent. And they're both Mexican, so there's that. And their numbers both start with 90. And they both have experience in a Toyota. Oh, Tracy Bennett, did you see that? Got a little bit loose heading into turn 1. By the way, he does have the most laps led. And he does have he does have the pole award. Does he have the fastest lap? No, he doesn't. That belongs to Ryan Hill, as it should. Speaking of Ryan Hill, oh, contact going into the corner. Ryan Hill has had enough of the 19. And pit stop should be coming up relatively shortly. The 18 is very upset with the 19 for some reason. Ryan Hill is going to push him up to the top side of the track. Here he comes on the bottom, driving a little bit. He's been driving clean all season, with the exception of his antics in Colorado, but he's been relatively clean all season. Now it looks like he's just had enough of being a nice guy. He does get past the 19 as we enter lap 35. We do have lap traffic. It is Sam Fitzgerald about to be taken by the 48 of Tracy Bennett, provided the 10 lets him by. That 10 car has had a track record of not really letting people by. Case in point, the Bud Light 200 at Nashville. Everybody seemed to have gotten upset with him after that race. He actually ended up causing an incident on the final corner during the midway point of the race. Speaking of pit stops, when that comes around, that's a very interesting looking pit road. So they cannot really afford to have lap traffic get in the way. But that 18 is still battling with that 19 car. Those two Joe Gibbs drivers are going at it. Ryan Hill does have the fastest car in the field so far, but that 18 car, as the track evolves, as the tires wear down, I wonder how long he's going to be able to keep that pace with the 19. Darren Claw is being held up by Sam Fitzgerald. Darren Claw, Ryan Hill, Paul Rivera. So Ryan Apt and Tracy Bennett are the only Toyotas in the top 5 here. Sorry, the only Chevys in the top 5, not Toyotas. Everything else dominated by Toyotas. Now this is going to be interesting. What's the 18 going to do with Sam Fitzgerald? Is its AI smart enough to get around that 10 car? Bit of a fourth wall break there, but I don't care. 18 on the bottom, looks like he has the advantage to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald makes contact with the wall, so in case he isn't already slow enough, that damage might slow him down a lot more. That 19 still remaining on the inside. He's got the advantage to Fitzgerald, so those two, looks like Bennett, Claw, and Hill have gotten past that 10 car, and so have the 19. They've all gotten past Sam Fitzgerald relatively easily. Oh, the 15's got serious damage to the right side, so that's going to slow him down a ton. And we said during our pre-race how he's been consistently the better driver out of the Wild family Fords. Well, right now he's behind Jake Wild in 26th place. It's been very interesting to watch how these guys have been racing. The track has evolved quite a bit here tonight. And we see how earlier in the race people were using the top lane. Now it just seems like people have been using the top lane specifically in the straights, and now they're going right to the middle. But they've been mainly treating this like a dirt track. They've been in the middle on corner entry, and then they use the top side once they get into the back straightaway. So this is being raced like a dirt track almost. Like it's almost as if Super Dirt Week is happening right now. 5 laps to go here at Oswego Speedway. We've only been here half an hour. But Tracy Bennett is looking to get his second consecutive victory, the first back-to-back winner of the season. 4 laps to go here in Oswego. And I don't know about you, but this has been a pretty entertaining race, all things considered. I've had a lot of fun. It'll be a joy if we come back next year. Actually, I already posted the schedule as a news article on the website. Daniel Walker officially a lap down. Jake Wild trying to remain on the lead lap here. No DNFs here so far. However, anything can happen in 2 laps. Sam Fitzgerald might wipe himself out heading into the front straightaway. I thought there was damage to the 19. That's just his paint scheme. Nicholas Offelman having trouble getting past the 10 of Sam Fitzgerald. Miranda Nagayan looking for her highest finish since Texas. She'll probably finish 6th here. Or 7th, sorry. If she can get past Offelman, it can be a 6th place finish. White flag, 1 to go, presented by Xfinity. And this is a taster of what we'll see. Coming off the final stretch, Tracy Bennett will win the General Tire 200 at Oswego. And it's 2 in a row for the 21-year-olds. And that Motorola Chevrolet will go into victory lane once again. 2 wins in a row for the 48 car. His teammate, Drew Foster, doesn't have as much luck. He actually ends up finishing in 19th. So a stark contrast between the 2 drivers. And Miranda Nagayan wipes herself out coming to pit road. That's charming. Okay, I'm going to pretend like that never happened. So let's take a look at your finishing order presented by... Hold on one second. Alright, now that that's saved, I forgot to save the results from the Toyota World Series race, so you can imagine how fun that's going to be for me later. But anyway, let's take a look at the finishing order for this race weekend presented by Xfinity. Tracy Bennett is a two-time winner. He joins the elite club after his win at Lime Rock. He's not done dominating the Northeast. Can he win at North Wilkesboro? We'll find out. But Tracy Bennett is a winner, followed by Darren Claw. Ryan Hill comes in third place. Paul Rivera and Ryan Apt round out your top five. Paul Rivera getting yet another top five, so good on him. Brandon Nagayan is your seventh place finisher, so most of the Joe Gibbs drivers finished in the top 10. 3 out of 4 drivers finished in the top 10. Brian Cox, Sheldon Gatineau, Rick Taylor all finished in the top 10. Rick Taylor getting Mountain West Racing, Big Sky Racing's second top 10 of the weekend. So both cars in the top 10 for today. After that, you got After that, you got James Garcia, Greg Ramirez, Travis Creighton, the highest finishing of the reject mobiles. Chadhodri Bhattacharya finishing 14th for Wood Brothers. Jesus Gonzalez, the highest finishing reject Toyota of the day. He finishes 15th. Jordan McClure, Byron Martin, 2 drivers on the same team for Tift Racing, finished back-to-back in 16th and 17th, respectively. Daniel Van Hewley, Doug Foster, Michael Brewer, Alex McCumber, Hayden Benning, Dennis Key, and Carter Brown finally finishes on the lead lap. Jake Wild, Daniel Walker, and Sam Fitzgerald all finished on the final remaining 3 positions. A lap down, they'd nobody DNF'd today. And let's take a look at your Xfinity fastest lap for today's race, and that goes to Ryan Hill. Tracy Bennett led all 50 laps today. He started on pole, and he got the halfway bonus. So he gets 3 out of 4 of the bonus points there. So good on him. He gets 15 bonus points from today's race. But on top of that, thank you so much for watching tonight. We'll be back later for North Wilkesboro for the Dirty Mo Media 400, a tribute to Dale Earnhardt Jr. That'll be from North Wilkesboro Speedway. It will be a 400-mile race, around one of America's greatest short tracks. We thank you so much for watching today's race. We'll be back for the Dirty Mo Media 400 at North Wilkesboro Speedway at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back. But thank you so much for watching. Tracy Bennett is a winner at Oswego.